Animal Kingdom.
For
Take y'all
males
along.
and females who have these short, heavy curved horns on their heads, they use those to brush away the underbrush of their forest environments they swiftly travel through their ecosystem. That, however, is in contrast to their cousin next to them on that hill, a greater kudu, the tan-colored antelope. So she has no horns. Only males have horns that are roughly 6 feet in length. And then before I move on to the animal on the right, we have one more on the left. So we're going to see the two saddle-billed storks. And these two are mates who mate for life. Something interesting about them, they have no vocal cords. So for them to communicate, they rattle their bills together. On the right-hand side, we're also going to see an okapi. The okapi is the only known relative that a giraffe has. A couple similarities to the okapi and the giraffe. They both have these prehensile tongues that act like hands to grab their food with. And they have elongated necks as well, sharing the same amount of vertebrae in their necks as their giraffe counterparts. On the left-hand side,
A rhinoceros. Welcome to A New Life with Woody. We on a safari right now, y'all.
It's okay to be excited. We don't want to shout. That rhino has very sensitive hearing. But it's okay to be excited. Just want to make sure we're being kind to our animal friends while we drive near them.
Here's our rhinoceros.
That we're going to see here on the left-hand side.
A rhino.
Black rhinos, they are solitary creatures by nature. They have no natural predator out in the wild, but they do have one we consider to be unnatural. Sadly, this is considered to be mankind. So man has hunted the rhinoceros to near extinction. People hunt them for the horns on their heads. They feel they serve a medicinal purpose. The reality of those horns is they're made of keratin. That is no different than our fingernails. We do support, oh, do not whistle. Do not whistle, friends. No kissing noises, no whistling noises. I know sometimes you see the operator too close to the truck like that, you want to try to get them closer. Noises like that upset them and bother them. Again, we want to be kind to these animals while we're here.
It's beautiful out here.
We're going to go ahead and enter another portion of the reserve. So we're going to move into the Salty River. This is home to the crocodile as well as the hippopotamus.
We're about to see some crocodiles and some hippopotamus.
On the right-hand side as well as the left-hand side. When it comes to the hippos on the right, they're usually not who I'm going to start with if they're out in the area. I usually like to start with the pinch-backed pelicans.
Oh, the pelicans right there.
The pinch-backed pelican gets this name because during their mating seasons, their backs will glow bright pink colors. When they do have their eggs, males and females will switch off for their incubation. They switch off 30 days or so.
We're at Animal Kingdom, Disney.
That's a really good view, so I'm going to hold here for a bit. The hippo did pop its head up to take a breath, so you usually get a better view if they are taking that breath, because they spend most of their day
Absolutely, Mike.
themselves underneath their waters. They do that to keep from overheating. So a hippopotamus will spend about 8 minutes at a time completely submerged before they pop up and then take that. They just use their body weight to sink themselves
hippo
all the way
underwater.
down the river. We have another one on our left, but it is completely sunken underneath that water. It just walks along the bottom of that river to propel itself forward, using that body weight to sink themselves down. They do weigh about 5,500 pounds when these hippos are fully grown. And this herd of hippopotamus, they're known as bloat. These ones are not as easy to see, but there's a couple more lined up along this little curve here that you might be able to make out as well. But at this point, I'm going to start throwing my attention over to another animal.
It's nice.
So look into this embankment on the left-hand side.
Alligators.
The Nile crocodile.
Crocodile.
Oh my gosh,
Nile crocodiles are one of the fiercest predators in all of Africa. They grow to be 16 feet in length and weigh as much as 500 pounds. Something you may not know about the Nile crocodile, however, is they prove to be very loving parents. Both mothers and fathers, they take their eggs, they roll these around on their tongues. This is an incubation as well as the hatching process. Once those eggs
Sorry, the ride's so bumpy.
So looks can be deceiving. When it comes to their own, now crocodiles prove to be rather loving creatures.
Oh, they got a special tour.
On our right-hand side, we'll take a look at a baobab tree. Oh, actually, we're going to hold. It looks like there's a bit of a slowdown. In fact, I can actually see what's going to be holding us up. We'll talk about that in a moment.
Y'all see the giraffe?
I almost have the space to pull up to the Baobab tree, but I'm going to hold here for now. You can see some animals up ahead walking through the roadway. They have an ability to walk through these roads. These are their homes. We're not going to try to force them to go away they don't want to go. We're not going to try to push them to another direction. We're going to allow them to do whatever it is they want to do. Always making sure we're treating them very respectfully.
Absolutely.
I have enough space to pull up, so let's go ahead and talk about this Baobab tree here on the right-hand side.
Baobab tree.
Baobabs look like trees that sit upside down, but the reality to them, they just remain leafless 9 months out of the year, so they conserve water during the dry seasons in Africa. During these times, the animals can go up to the Baobab and get water from them. Their bark can be ripped off, and it's very spongy, holds a lot of water in it, so when you chew on it, they can get hydrated, keep themselves hydrated during those 9 months with no rainfall. Because of this, the Baobab earned another name. They're commonly referred to as the tree of life. And that does let us know we are inside the largest portion of the tour today. So we are inside the savannah. In the savannah, animals will use speed.
We're in the
as their main
savannah.
source of defense. And I might talk about the speed of a couple of these animals. We're already looking at what my main focus is going to be on. This is home to some of the most iconic animals. We've already seen Maasai giraffes moving throughout the area, but it's also home to lions, elephants, cheetahs, zebras, hyenas, rhinos, wildebeest. So we're thinking about animals that live in Africa. We're almost always thinking about animals that live here in the savannah. Let that vehicle move up just a little bit more. And then we're going to go ahead and start to enter the savannah ourselves.
I know that's right, Mike. Try to hold the camera steady for y'all.
We're going to see a couple of the animals, do a nice little preview from the animals I'll be talking about today. So looking off to the right-hand side, see so many different animals in view. Both one of the tallest we're going to meet, the Maasai giraffe. Also one of the smallest we'll meet, known as springbok. There's Hartman's mountain zebra and wildebeest all on that right-hand side. Then directly in front of us, the only thing you can see right now is a sable antelope. That's not what I'm going to start with. What I'm going to start with is on our left-hand side. We're going to see if any of the African painted dogs are in the area, and I actually already see them. I see them inside of their den. Get a bit of a view from this angle.
Oh, I see them.
Around, so we're facing parallel to that den and get a much better view inside there. I'm looking at those painted dogs.
Right there. The dogs. They're painted dog. No, it's a painted dog.
African painted dogs.
It's not a
They get
hyena.
this name due to the black patterns that they have. It almost
Right
looks
there.
like they've been
All them dogs.
brushstroked on.
Small?
All the dogs in there. See them up under there?
No two looks exactly alike, so they can tell each other apart, even from great distances. And painted dogs, make sure we stay seated, friends. Painted dogs have both alpha males as well as alpha females. They'll be in charge of the pack and be the main source of the breeding.
And they cannot attack us because they are afraid.
Keeping to the left are the sable antelopes, the official emblems to the Rwanda Wildlife Reserve. They were chosen because in Africa, these are symbols of strength. While the sable antelope may look a little unassuming, in the choice of fight or flight, a sable will always fight. And they use the horns on their heads to defend themselves and their young from predators as fierce as lions. Those are animals with very few fears.
Krupp, what up, my guy?
Sable antelope, they live in a matriarchal society. That means they have dominant females. The females are the ones that are put in charge. They decide where the sable will live, where they'll move to. They're pretty territorial, so you almost always find them in that same spot. Before we make it up to the next animal, I am going to talk a little bit about these mounds we're passing by. These are termite mounds. Termite mounds are made primarily of clay, saliva, and dung, and they're as tough as cement. The termites that live within those mounds, they farm their own food inside of them. And over the Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail, there's one that's been cut in half, so you can see just how intricate all the
Hey,
designs
Mama
and
Bear.
patterns these
We're at
termites
Animal Kingdom.
sabi pag nagturo, malulunod ka. Hindi naman yung mga puno niya.
On our right-hand side, a very small antelope, and one of the smallest antelopes we're going to meet today. So on this right, the
Buti na lang
springbok.
may malamig-lamig na yun.
Springbok, well, they are very small, they're also very impressive. So they actually get this name because when startled, the springbok can spring.
Yeah,
up
man,
to
we're
6
trying
feet in the
to,
air
man.
at a
It's
time.
having a good time. We're gonna go to Magic Kingdom
Despite
today
being so small, they're also
after
one of the top
this.
10 fastest land mammals,
The G-Walk
capable of hitting top
A who?
speeds at around 50 to 60 miles.
Oh, here's
per
a
hour.
giraffe, y'all.
Get our first good look at a Maasai giraffe. I'm not going to go in detail on the giraffes just yet because I have a lot up ahead of me. And I want to go in depth on those giraffes if I can. So I'm going to knock out a couple of these other animals so I have time to go in depth on the giraffes. So on the right-hand side again, we're going to see some of the wildebeest. The wildebeest out here, it's a pretty decent-sized herd, but it's actually considered incredibly small. I say that because out in the wild, wildebeest travel in herds as much as 1.5 million and can travel between 500 to 1,000 miles during the migration period, making them the second largest migrating mammal
Zebras.
to mankind. And then it looks like the last animal on the right-hand side is going to be the Hartman's mountain zebra. A very small zebra species, only standing at 4 feet at the shoulder when fully grown. And they have a white underbelly, others eating. This is how they spend the overwhelming majority of their days. The Maasai giraffe does need to eat roughly 22 hours every day. Make sure we stay seated. Do not lift the child up like that. You gotta stay in the seat. But Maasai giraffes, as I mentioned, they will eat 22 hours every day. So what they do is they'll use their prehensile trunks to grab up their food. They'll break their food off, they'll chew it up a little bit. That food's going to travel down to a chamber in the stomach. Then it's going to come back up to the mouth. They'll chew it again, and then it'll move down to another chamber. That food has to pass through 4 separate chambers until it's completely digested.
Yeah, the children are excited, man.
We're going to enter the first elephant yard.
Hi,
It's
Dad.
going to be a male
Hi.
elephant that we're going to meet
Hi,
on the
Mama.
right-hand side.
Say hi.
You see him. Male elephants are much larger.
Oh, elephants. Elephant jaw.
10 to 14,000 pounds when fully grown. Females usually between 8 to 10,000. The males are also solitary creatures. When a male elephant reaches adulthood, it's going to break away from the herd and strike out on its own. Really quickly, I just noticed the mandrill on the left as well. That is the alpha male mandrill on that left-hand side. Larger than the female.
Where? Where?
We've already passed it. We haven't seen it pass.
Missed it. Missed whatever that was.
Anywhere from 100 to 115 pounds. Females can be 30 to 40 pounds. Males also have bright blue and red faces that get brighter and brighter. The male with the brightest face would be considered the alpha. We're going to move into the next elephant area. See if we can find even more elephants out right now. While we do move around, I do want to talk about
Tosh,
the elephants.
welcome.
We're so cautious.
Trying to be a little
around how
quiet
sensitive their
so
hearing is.
we don't scare the
Low noises
animals.
can bother the elephant, but usually those noises will be loud or high-pitched. However, one noise in particular that our own conservation team discovered we were quite surprised by. Elephants can get really annoyed by the buzzing noises that a bee makes. We use this knowledge on farmers in Kenya to protect their crops. What they do is they build beehive fences on their farmland to keep roaming elephants away. The bees will travel their homes and their fields. The farmers can take the honey from those beehive fences.
I can't help it, bruh. I'm on a friggin' safari. It's the road, bruh.
The bee gives the bee off.
Can't help it.
What is
King
that?
slap. This truck's moving. I'm in a truck, man.
To the next elephant yard. As you do this, if you look to your right, you can see some tusk marks there in the clay.
Oh, look.
Run their
What's
tusks
up?
along clay deposits. They break it off. They eat it. Your minnows find inside of clay that are good for elephants' diets. And looking at the left-hand side, we're going to see some of the female elephants. Females are far more social than their male counterparts. So females, they spend their entire lives inside of their herds. This is where they raise the young. Again, that could include young males. Males will separate once they hit adulthood.
Because your camera is too...
It is. It's good.
Now it's okay.
Another view of these females.
Now
As
it's
we
it's not that too much.
go. Nice look at some of the girls. And it's always great seeing these elephants in their natural environment. This has actually become something of a rarity these days. That is due to a mineral known as coltan. Coltan is used in production of our cell phones, electronic devices, and it is found primarily in the home of the African elephant. Because we've mined so much of that material, we destroyed their homes. It made it really difficult for them to survive in the wild. One way that we can help them is to recycle. If we focus on recycling old electronic devices, rather than just throwing those out, because they'll need to mine that material, that coltan. It helps keep these elephant environments safe.
Look at that water, Mama. Blue water.
Go nice and slow, have a couple of guests in the water there, which I'm not disturbing them as I move around. But we're going to move up to
Flamingo.
the greater...
Okay, it's good right here, baby.
Flamingo.
Flamingos get their colors
Oh my
due to their
god.
diets. They eat rhinos.
Look at the legs.
This contains
I see 'em.
Look at the
That
legs.
gives the adults those nice pink complexions that you're seeing. It'll take the young around 2 years to get this color out. And flocks of flamingos, they are known as the flamboyants. They're bright flamboyant colors. We get one last look at the tank of the female elephant. I think I see one more in the background. We'll hopefully see her as we enter the final portion of the Savannah. We're actually going to meet an animal.
Ooh,
Right there.
big rhinos.
As we enter, we are going to meet some of the white rhinoceros.
White rhinoceros.
There they are. The white rhinos, they live inside of a herd. This herd is called a crash. It is a nickname they very much have earned. The white rhinoceros is an incredibly kind creature. They are gentle giants. However, they're also nearsighted. That means they have a difficulty seeing things that are close up, especially when they're not in motion. So they tend to crash into things. These are 5,000 pounds of pure muscle. This is not an animal you want to crash into you, no matter how kind they may be. The rhinos do like to come to this area pretty often. This is where their mud pit is.
Get it, you got it?
Splash around that mud, they cover their bodies in it. Protects them from the heat, as well as from various insects. And we're gonna go from the rhinos to the cheetahs. So right in this left-hand corner, between the rock and that back tree, you can see 3 cheetahs all together right now.
Where?
Now,
Oh,
the
right
cheetah
there.
is resting. When a cheetah rests, they will camouflage. They use their spots, the shallows, the areas they live in, tall grass, to blend very well into their environment as an excellent source of protection for the cheetah. I see 2 more up ahead of us. They're tucked away in this back right-hand corner where the 3 trees are. Well, let's talk about that speed, because that's what we tend to think of when we think of this animal. And they are the world's fastest land.
Yeah, they're right there.
They're capable of hitting top speeds at 70 miles per hour. And they go
Missed
from
them.
0 to 60 in under 3
They cannot
seconds.
see it, Ed.
It's okay.
Oh, look at this beautiful view. So we've made it up to the Kopi, home to the lion. Such a gorgeous look at our lion friend here. He is asleep. As the lions are nocturnal. They hunt at night. They're going to be sleeping during the daytime. So the lions will sleep roughly 16 to 18 hours throughout the day to conserve energy in between these hunts. Now when it is time to go out and do hunting, it wouldn't be a male who would hunt. Males are not hunters. Females are hunters. Males are actually defenders. So males, they're going to stay behind. They're going to protect their territory and protect their young. That's why the male has a mane. That mane is armor. It protects the vitals around his neck, and they're very, very dense, weighing anywhere from 20 to 30 pounds. Scientists did discover if there's an all-female group of lions with no male, the alpha female, she's going to become the defender of the group. One last thing about that male lion. Oh, we can actually see a little bit of the female from this angle. But that male lion we're looking at, he's a bit of a movie star. He was used for Simba in the live adaptation of Lion King done a couple
Oh, he was Simba in the Lion King. Oh, that's cool.
He is what?
He was the actual lion that was in the Lion King, the new Lion King that just came. Ooh, warthog.
The warthog is the world's largest burrowing
Where
mammal.
is it?
The tusks they have on the front of their faces, they're not defensive tusks. They act as
A warthog. He said that's Sante.
They do have a pair of defensive tusks just hidden on their bottom jaws. On our right-hand side, we'll see some more of the white rhinoceros. I'm going to focus in on another animal.
Ostriches.
The ostrich. These are female ostriches. Females have gray and brown colors. Males have more traditional black and white, what we tend to think of when we think of that animal. The ostrich is the world's largest bird. The wings they have, they don't use them to fly, they use them to steer as they fly. I brought up the fact that those are female ostriches, because if you look to your right-hand side,
Yeah, we're
all the way
doing
down to the
good,
ground,
man.
just on
We
the
are
other
doing,
side of
we're
the
having
street,
fun, man.
you'll see
Look at that
some
warthog.
ostrich eggs.
Oh, there's eggs.
Ostrich eggs weigh
Well, ostrich eggs.
2 dozen chicken eggs. And they're so strong that adult males could stand on those eggs, they wouldn't break. They have a really tough outer exterior. We're going to move into the final leg of this tour. This is the Nagati
I like the
Select.
flamingo.
Yeah, they were pretty. They were really pretty.
I like the flamingo.
I can see those final animals in view, so last but not least, without further ado, some of the smallest and cutest animals you will meet.
Some goats.
On our left-hand side, we're going to meet the Nigerian dwarf goats. They almost look the size of baby goats, but they aren't fully grown.
Nigerian
Very
goats.
large, hence the name dwarf goat. Now, Nigerian dwarf goat is a very
They have their
social,
own house.
playful, and
Yeah.
curious creature. That place serves a
Look at the trap at
It
the
helps
roof.
these tiny
Oh, he's on the roof.
bodies physically, as well as to establish
On the roof.
Sorry, I'm so shaky, y'all.
Well, my friends, that's going to be the end of our tour today. I want to thank you for
Thank
joining me.
y'all.
Enjoyed learning about some of
That was the
these
end of the
animals.
tour.
Appreciations for them.
I'll tap in later on, y'all.
Momentarily. If you want to learn about these animals, you can do so.
Much love. Let's do this together.
The rest of the Magic Disney's Animal Kingdom found on Disney Plus and the National Geographic section.
All right, y'all. Y'all take it easy, man. Much love.
That's something that I greatly encourage.